Well, Jeff Douglas started it off really in 1945 in Kaiba Pass, and then eventually shifted to Pukekohe, where his largest customer was Belcher, who made tractors or tractor implements, and then it's grown from there. It's had a few owners along the way and changed its name before we bought the company.
When I think about, we used to run the factory, it was a pretty awful place to work. There was oil fumes everywhere. We were running these big multi-spindle lathes that take 8 bars of steel at a time, and they fire oil around the place. I mean, if that building, if there'd ever been a fire in it, would have gone up like a blooming candle. It was an interesting journey, to say the least.
When we bought it, it didn't really have much of a distribution network, and so we set about building up the distribution network, trying to get them across to us, and we were desperate for sales, and we just went out and on the road all the time.
To pay for our motels, we had these station wagons, and we'd just fill the back up full of product and go out there and flog it off so we could pay the bill.
Well, it wasn't until we shifted from our little spot down on Church Street in Penrose, and we went up to the Great South Road, and we found this building. It was an old printing company, and we painted the whole building yellow and hoses and fittings and that sort of thing. And I think that created the landmark for us to paint all sorts of buildings around New Zealand the bright yellow as they are now. So the first year in business, we decided we'd have a conference.
The conferences, they have a real learning take-home value, but hell, we've had a lot of fun.
So after settling in for a few weeks, I was going through some conference files, and I found some very unusual photos. A number of the executives in the business had high heels and fishnet stockings and dresses and makeup, and they were dressed in drag, and I was told this was typically a conference that I should be attending. So it was an interesting start to the business.
We've always tried to create really open relationships with people and being up front with them, both the staff and with customers.
The thing I've enjoyed all the way through working with them is their open door policy. You know, you could go and knock on the door and say, "Have you got a minute?" And there was always time, that's good.
I think a big part of what they've done is included families in the business where possible. So our wives and children have invited along to conferences and have got involved with the business, and we've encouraged that with our customers as well.
I actually quite enjoy the industry, and I enjoy the people I work with.
I remember when I first started in the hose shop, and we'd get to the end of the day, and it was all about the philosophy of making sure we supplied the customers product. So everyone from the account staff to all the parts guys would all be out the back, all picking orders and processing things, and we basically never left until everything went out the door.
We've sponsored so many things with motors in them.
Race cars,
anything with an engine.
In 1995, I think I was watching one of the races, the pre-races to the Cup, and something happened on the cockpit of the boat, and it looked like a hydraulic hose had failed on the boom and sprayed a bit of oil on the cockpit. And I said to myself, geez, we can do better than that. So I grabbed hold of Garth and went down to see Team New Zealand down there with Tim Gurr and Roy Mason, and said, look, we'd like to do your hose and fittings for you. And they said, okay, well, we'll give you a trial. And so then we worked with them as they built the boat up, and the rest is history. We've been with them for the 25 years.
You know, it was a big learning curve for me on that one, the first boat, with some of the valves they had in them. They bought a big box into me off the boat and said, can you rebuild these and make sure they're working? And in those days, I was a bad bugger and I used to smoke. So I didn't know how these things worked, so I'd sit there with my smoke and blow smoke through the different ports so I could see where it came out the other side to see how that works.
The technique you still use today.
Well, I don't smoke anymore. That was a big learning curve, you know.
75 years is a long time to be in business, and it's that excitement and planning for the next 75 you just wonder where the company's going to be.
Our business is growing here in Australia, it's growing in Asia, it's very strong with a market leader in New Zealand, and I see the next 75 years are certainly just moving forward.
I can see Hydraulink going through into Europe and into America and really being a major international player across the globe. That's the future for Hydraulink.
75 years, when you look back on that, it's a real fantastic thing to be involved in a company with a history that long, and hopefully it's going to go for at least another 75 years, although we won't be here to see it.
The brightness of future for this company is, there's a lot of it.
Happy 75th anniversary, Hydraulink.
Hey, happy 75th anniversary, Hydraulink.
Happy 75 Hydraulink.
Happy anniversary.
Congratulations to Lee and Noel.
Happy 75 years, Hydraulink.
From Ovlob and the team, happy 75th.
And happy anniversary.
Fantastic achievement, guys.
Happy 75-year anniversary, and here's to another 75 years.
Congratulations from me too, and it's like being here today in the most gorgeous Auckland. Smooth sailing all the way, Hydraulink. Big ups to you, kia kaha.